wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Desmalia Sadena. In this video, I'm gonna tell you about how to learn any language in 6 months. Okay, we have massive challenge with environment. We have massive challenge with social dislocation, with wars, all sort of things going on, and we have cannot communicate. We are really going to have difficult solving this problem. How does heavy stuff fly? So, if you draw like this, you learn this principle for 5 days and apply them, and after 5 days you can draw something like this. No, I know this is true because that was my first drawing, and after 5 days of applying these principles, that was what I was able to do. And I looked at this and I went. So anybody can learn to draw in 5 days, and in some way with the same logic anybody can learn a second language in 6 months. There are 5 principles and 7 actions. Look at all the Chinese living in America, Britain, Australia, Canada have been there 10, 20 years and they do not speak any English. When you don't speak a language, you are like a baby. So the first principle for learning a language is focus and language content that is really fun to you. Typing Chinese a certain way. There are methods for this. We had 48 hours to deliver a training manual in Chinese, and she got the job. And I can guarantee you in 48 hours she learned to type Chinese because it was relevant. It was meaningful, it was important. She was using a tool to create a value. So, the second principle for learning a language is to use your language as a tool to communicate right from day one. When I first arrived in China, I didn't speak a word of Chinese, and on my second week, I got to take a train ride overnight. What had happened? I absorbed it that night on the train, which brings us to the third principle. When you first understand the message, then you will acquire the language unconsciously, and this is really well documented now. It's something called comprehensible input. The purple bars show the scores on different tests for language. The purple people were people who had learned by grammar and formal study. The green ones are the ones who learned by comprehensible input. A woman I know from Taiwan did great in English at school. She got A grades all the way to when took challenge collect a grade, went to the US and found she could understand what people were saying. English deaf because we have filter in our brain that filter in the sound that we are familiar with, and they filter out the sounds of language that we are not. If If you are one of those people who needs to understand 100% every word you are hearing, you will go nuts because you will be incredibly upset all the time because you are not perfect. If you are comfortable with not getting some, just paying attention to to what you do understand, you are going to be fine, relaxed, and you will be learning quickly. You put yourself in a context where you are hearing tones of a language. It doesn't matter if you understand it or not. Human communication is body language in many ways, so much a body language. From body language, you can understand a lot of communication. Therefore, you are acquiring a comprehensible input. If you are a Chinese speaker of Mandarin and Cantonese and you go to Vietnam, you will understand 60% of what they say to you in daily conversation, because Vietnam is, is about 30% Mandarin, 30% Cantonese. Language it is a creative process. What does that mean? Well, any language in high frequency content. In English, 1000 words covers 85% of anything you are ever going to say in daily communication. 3000 words give you 98% of anything you are going to say in daily conversation. You got 3000 words, you are speaking the language. How do you say that? I don't understand. Repeat that please. What does that mean? All in your target language. You are using it as a tool, making it useful to you. It's really fun to learn other things about the language. When a child is speaking, it will be using simple words, simple combinations, sometimes quite strange, sometimes very strange pronunciation. Other people from outside the family don't understand it. The parents talk to the children with body language and with simple language. They know the child understands. So you get yourself a language parent who's somebody interested in you as a person who will communicate with you essentially as an equal, but pay attention to help you understand the message. There are 4 rules of a language parents. There's a couple of things you do. One is that you hear how it feels and feel how it sounds, which means you have a feedback loop operating in your face. But ideally, if you can look at a native speaker, you just observe how they use their face. Let your unconscious mind absorb the rules, then you are going to be able to pick it up. While most people learning a second language sort of take the mother tongue word and the target word and go over them again and again in their mind to try and remember them. So there are 5 principles and that you need to work with 7 actions. If you do any of them, you are going to improve. And remember, these are things under your control as the learner. Do them all and you are going to be fluent and second language in 6 months. I think enough. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.